Played 9 hours of paintball yesterday.
Hit! Stop!
I am in fucking agony. You know I need to get into the video and I need to get this thing started, but I just want to say this for those who are watching. People will often get overshot in paintball, which is like somebody just lays into them and they're like, I'm hit. Hit. And they'll immediately go, fucking rentals. It's not the rentals, okay? You know it's not the rentals. I know it's not the rentals. I know it makes you feel better to blame the rentals because you'll never see them again. But it's not the rentals, okay? It's the fucking guys with the little pussy triggers and they can flap their little pussy fingers and shoot an entire line of balls. Okay, it's those guys. And you're that guy, by the way. That's you. Little Jimmy over there with his little A5 is not shooting a line of paint at you. Fuck you. My back hurts and it's not a 5-year-old's fault. It's your fault. Thank you very much. Anyway, moving on. I recently made some pretty big changes. Some pretty big changes to the game. And I just want to take a second and breathe. And before I get super duper into it, before I go down the dark path of like the bad update, which it's kind of in that same direction, I just want to talk to you guys and just make sure that you guys are okay with this. You know, I'm not going to be crucified if I release an update with these changes in it. I like them. I think they're better for the game, but I also thought the bad update was pretty good. And guess what happened there? Yeah, that happened. Anyway, so I just wanted to record a bunch of footage, and I'll probably narrate over it a little bit, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. So anyway, yeah, watch my gameplay. It's really bad. I haven't recorded it yet. I'm saying this before the gameplay's even recorded. I have no idea how bad it is. It could be awful. It could be really, really bad. It probably won't be, though. It'll probably be pretty average for me. Anyway, I'll see you in there. What do I go out this way? Should I just walk out? I just walk out of frame. Okay. So, as it turns out, I recorded that intro on September 26th. It is now October 27th. I really have just sat on that video for a while. Time has passed. Okay, my beard is growing out. I've just been neglecting getting back to this. But dude, I'm this close. I'm this close to hitting like the partnership thing or whatever, where you can monetize your videos, so I can leak you guys for more money. I'm a real YouTuber at that point. If I can do that, do I get the checkmark thing? Or I'm pretty sure it's like once you hit 100,000 though. I'm not as cool as Average Pixel yet. He has the check mark. Every single time he comments on one of my videos, I get jealous. Anyway, so I recently changed how bullet magnetism works. So I recorded this footage and I just couldn't hit any of my shots. So yeah, I'm gonna narrate over some really bad gameplay. I was actually right. Now that I think about it, I think a month ago in that video I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be really bad. It was actually pretty bad, yeah. I didn't even know. Who knew? Stop! Alright, so I'm going to be narrating over this really shitty gameplay, which is my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world, and I'm really looking forward to it. But this is actually like the third time I've tried recording this, and I keep having issues because there's one or two particular points in the video where a bunch of things happen really, really close together, and so like narrating over that and explaining what's happening is really tough. So it's going to be really messy, and I'm really sorry. But let's do it. Let's get into it. Sure, why not? And sync. Welcome to the new level that I've been working on. It's not a super duper new level. It's not going to be added to the level list. It's actually a replacement for the spider's nest. I didn't really like that level. I'm not going to get super into it because I don't have time for it. But pretty much I just want to replace it with a better level, and I think I did that pretty well. You'll notice that the first couple kills I get here kind of lags out the recording. It's because I'm not playing on Steam. I'm playing like locally on my computer, which has an issue with Steam for some reason, where the first 5 kills always screw it up. But I mean, it's done now. But pretty much the changes that you're going to be noticing in this a lot have to do with like health and weapon acquisition and enemy balance and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of balance changes in this, and I'll go over that as time goes on. The first one you'll probably notice is that I'm gaining overshield when I pick up these little orbs that drop from enemies. There's not as much health things, and the combo health thing has gotten taken away, which I know a lot of people really like that, and I liked it as well. But I think this is a bit better because it adds more risk to kind of gameplay. You want to keep this overshield because it's like a permanent health loss. You don't regen it, and so it gives you kind of a more reason to be more aggressive and getting close to the enemies. Furthermore, I've changed a lot with like how different weapon types are supposed to be used in the game. So precision weapons are really useful for like higher damage enemies, and like the auto weapons are more, or assault weapons I guess, are better used for like groups of enemies or smaller enemies or whatever. And so kind of balancing those together is like a good way to do well, I guess. Here in a second I'm going to pick up a key. So enemies drop keys now, as well as like the key obelisks, those drop keys. And keys are used for a different thing now. There are 3 types of bunkers in the game now, rather than just the one. And they've gotten a little bit of a redesign as far as like how they're used, what's in them, and all that kind of stuff. The one bunker I'm going to be using in this video is the storage bunker, or the cargo bunker. And that's a bunker that upgrades your storage capacity. Pretty much you get in there and you can interact with something and you'll get more inventory slots. Things like grab-a-guns also. I got the key. You can't see it because the icon's on the bottom right, but here we go. Here's the bunker. Throw the key at the door. Unlocks a thing that becomes a spider enemy, a key crab, a spider, I guess. Open up the bunker. This thing right here I'm going to interact with is the mag holster. So you grab one of these things, slap it on yourself, and so now canonically, door guy is actually covered in magnets. That's real. I didn't really think about the logistics of that before I went in. Another thing that happens is you no longer destroy your weapons, you actually remove them. You drop them and you can pick them back up, and you don't have to lose them or anything like that. I'm giving myself a new weapon because I really like the lever action, and it's a new gun. You probably also noticed that the pistol has been redesigned, and I'll get more into that in a second. But yeah, lots of new weapons, lots of new cool stuff like that, and a lot of redesigned work like that. So there's 3 different types of bunkers. Each of them have their own little purpose, and I'm just gonna leave that for another video, or for you guys to figure out, you know, when the update actually launches. Okay, oh god, that was one of those moments that's like super a lot happens like back to back, and dude, that's like what I'm dreading about this, is that there's another moment up close that where that kind of happens as well, where things just start popping up left and right and I have to explain them. So we're through it. Oh my god, we're through the first one. Anyway, so ignore that awful fucking shot I just did. I missed it. I mentioned earlier, I think, that I changed how strong bullet magnetism is. It's no longer nearly as strong as it used to be. It's way weaker now. Which, you know, I kind of miss the old bullet magnetism, but I definitely think this makes the game feel more skillful and, I don't know, less bullshit in a way. But another change you probably noticed is there's a lot of changes to enemy like health and how much damage they can take, and the functionality of some of their attacks as well as some of their movement. So with infantry, when you damage them, they now kind of dip and dodge and dash out of the way a little bit, and they are much better to be taken on with like precision weapons, high damage weapons rather than like low damage assault weapons, because if you can get them to stagger, they'll stand still for a little bit. They won't dash out of the way when you damage them. And so really it's like, and you can get people to stagger by either hitting them or getting them to 50% health or below 50% health. And so a precision weapon on a infantry, like a bolt action or a lever action, will pretty much immediately make him stagger, and that will help a lot with like, oh, then I can take him out pretty easily after that. Things like imps have changed a lot, where their attacks are now charge attacks. They're a bit more aggressive. They're a bit faster. Like, see, okay, I just switched to my lever action just to take that infantry out because he's such a bitch with assault weapons. And that's kind of the point. Like each enemy kind of like, you should kind of have a good balance of weapons by the time you fight these enemies. And also there's ways to get these weapons like early on in the game. And I even say precision weapons, but a shotgun would be good against him too. I really mean like high damage weapons. So that's kind of what I mean more than that. But anyway, imps now change where they have a lot more health. They're way more tanky, but their attacks are like a charge up attack now, so they don't just fire a bolt of fire at you like immediately, or like a fireball or whatever it was before. I don't remember. Now they have like this spinning weird locking on attack as well. Striders have changed where they're way faster. They try to find better positions to shoot at you from afar. They're not trying to engage with you up close. And when you get close enough, they'll usually try to run away. But they'll have like a kind of like a smart bullet type thing going on for them, where you have to dodge it at the last second. You have to time your dodges for them really well to dodge their attacks. But they don't do a whole lot of damage. They're mostly just to interrupt you gaining overshield pretty much. Their damage is like the exact amount of overshield you gain, so it's pretty much negating one kill of what a Strider is kind of meant to do. Negating whatever work you did for that overshield. But they're not super tanky either. They're a little bit weak on the weaker side, so they're not super duper hard to deal with either. I think what it becomes is you have like pretty much 3 classes of enemies. You have the ones that are really good for precision or high damage weapons. You have the ones that are good for like assault weapons, and then you have the ones that are good for like power weapons. Which power weapons have changed, but I'm probably gonna address that in another video because I didn't really do anything with power weapons in this video. But I guess I can consider the laser cannon equipment. I'm kind of considering that a power weapon in this case because it's just one long, really powerful piercing shot. And I use those a lot to deal with people with shields or just high damage or high health enemies. So earlier you probably saw I also redid the door platform, and so the door event has changed a little bit, and it's continuing to change a bit more as well. I wanted it to be a bit more hectic, I guess. I wanted it to be a bit more difficult in a way. But yeah, so with the changes of like weapon balance and stuff like that, and how the door works and health stuff, I really think that even though the game has slowed down a little bit because there's less enemies on screen, about 50% less enemies, honestly, it's a pretty substantial change. Each enemy is a bit more engaging and a bit more difficult to deal with, and so I think it kind of balances itself out, so it's still just as fast as it used to be. And also, literally, like your walk speed on the ground, that's actually changed as well. You're quite a bit slower on the ground now, and I wanted to do that just to influence players to get up in the air and start using their movement abilities, as well as make it easier to like interact with chests and stuff like that. So that's a big change that's happened, especially since all the bunkers are like indoor areas. They're smaller areas now, and so I don't want you moving in like 1,000,000 miles an hour while you're trying to get the bunker finished. I was playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon as well, and one of the changes I've been trying recently is giving less weapons, I guess, making weapons a bit more of a commodity. So you're not flushed with weapons every single time you start a level, because in the current version on Steam, when you start a level, there's like 100 weapons laying around for you to grab, and so I feel like I wanted to use them more methodically, you know, be more deliberate with how I give you weapons. And so a lot of weapons are actually locked behind bunkers. And so if you walk up to the door of a bunker, oh my god, it's over? Fuck! When you walk up to the door of a bunker, you can hear whether the grab-a-gun's in it as well. So, oh my god, that's the gameplay. Okay, so I'll talk more about it in the description to give you more of an idea, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys the gameplay loop that's changed and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. Sorry for rambling on and talking your ear off. Thank you. Get out. Leave me alone. Don't ever talk to me again.